Hey guys, this is Robert Ness 816 and today we're going to be looking at the Gameboy Printer. Let's take a closer look at it. The Gameboy Printer is powered by 6 AA batteries. Like everything in the 90s, AA batteries powered everything. Also like everything in the 90s, kids left AA batteries in everything, which pretty much resulted in corrosion. Almost all of these Game Boys here actually had corrosion in them at one point in time. Especially these two. So the likelihood of you finding a good Game Boy printer today is fairly high. However, like I said before, everybody left AA batteries inside of their Game Boy printers and Game Boys back then. Mainly because the people using these things were, well, they were like 10, 15 years old or whatever, so they didn't know any better. This one, fortunately, was left without any batteries in it, so it has no corrosion. The Game Boy printer basically connects to your Game Boy via the multiplayer socket, or plug or whatever, or link cable. So there really is no special cable needed for it. The printer paper, however, is actually called thermal paper, and this paper does expire over time, as you'll see. The paper that I have in here is expired. It is pretty much from when it was new, probably. It is, however, still available. Either from eBay, you can get new old stock of it, or, which is kind of dumb because it's going to be expired just like this paper. How does this come off? Oh. Watch me break it. Or, there's a separate link that I'll show you later on in the video where you can get thermal paper designed for adding calculators, which is basically the same thing as what this is. I believe it will not have the sticky back though. So the cool thing about the Game Boy printer is that whatever it prints out can be used as a sticker. Of course, this sticker, or glue paper, whatever you want to call it, is dried out, so it won't even function as that anymore. But you'll see. So, the Game Boy printer is actually compatible with every single generation of the Game Boy, including the Game Boy Advance SP. However, if you're using the Game Boy camera, you'll pretty much be taking pictures of yourself upside down, or if you hold the SP upside down, you can take pictures of yourself right side up, but your picture will be upside down again. It's confusing. So, having said that, let's take a couple selfies now and show you the amazing quality of the Game Boy printer and really what 90s nostalgia is really all about, and why the fun factor of the Game Boy printer will last you for literally 5 minutes before you get bored of it, throw it in your closet and forget about it. If you're buying one of these today, don't ever spend a lot of money on one of these. Like, I literally got the Game Boy camera and the printer together, I think, for like $5. So I mean, it's like, it's a thing that was cool back in the day, but today it's like, okay, you know. And this one I got for free. So, cool back in the day. Today, not so much. Okay, so the Game Boy is hooked up to the Game Boy what am I saying? Okay, so the Game Boy is hooked up to the Game Boy printer, and I'm using the Game Boy camera for this. The printer is actually compatible with a couple of Game Boy cartridges, so you can basically print out different Nintendo characters. You can make banners with it, like small little banners, basically spelling your name or whatever the hell you want to make or whatever. So we'll turn on the Game Boy, take a couple of 90s era selfies. Now, mind you, you don't have to have the printer plugged in while you're, you don't need the printer plugged in while you're, using the Game Boy or whatever. You can take pictures and then plug it in later. I'm just doing this now for demonstrational purposes. So, turn the volume back up here so you can hear all those lovely sounds that the Game Boy camera makes. So we'll push the start button on the Game Boy. We'll go to shoot. And the very weird menu system that this thing has, which I still, 20 years later, do not fully understand, because I really don't understand Nintendo's marketing with this, or not marketing, but their graphics design with this, because it's just so weird. I mean, if I go back and then go shoot again, it's a different back. Oop, no, come on, what are you doing to me now? I'm going to change that. Now it's fucking with me. But anyway, usually when you cycle through it there's different backgrounds and stuff, so we'll just go to shoot. So the camera takes a little while to adjust to what's going on in a room. So there you go, so now it's on. And you can see the refresh rate of this thing is really kind of crappy. But again, this came out 20 years ago. This actually isn't a Guinness Book of World Records as the world's first, I guess, consumer level digital camera. This thing sold new for, I believe, $50, and that was kind of like a technological breakthrough back then. This came out in 1995, and digital cameras back then, I think they were still in like the $700-800 range. And this thing, you know, was basically a kid's toy, so this was pretty high tech back in the day. So pretty much black and white. Even when plugged into a Game Boy Color, it's still black and white. You know, or whatever the 5 color or 5 different shades of whatever color you choose limitation for the Type 1 cartridges were. So we'll just take a picture by pressing the A button. And this is me holding my camera, so while I'm taking a picture. So we'll save that. We'll hit the B button again. Hit B button again now to back out. We'll go to View, hit A again, go to Album. So, and then, so this is the most recent picture. So in this menu here, by pressing A, you can go into your different menus. So you have print, frame, comment, delete, paint, and stamp. So we'll go to print, and we'll just print it out. So it's sending the, oh yeah, I gotta select first. Print that, yes. Kind of a clear picture actually, when you think about it for the error. So we'll hit print. So now it's transferring the data through the link cable, and here we are. So mind you, this picture is going to look like crap because this printer paper is 20 years old, and thermal paper does actually have an expiration date, so this stuff is long expired. So yeah, basically the picture here should look as good as the printer paper if my memory serves me correct. I mean, or should look as good as it does on a screen here if memory serves me correctly. So this looks a little crappy. So we'll just peel this off, and I'll unstick the glue part of it. Okay, so I separated the sticky back, and the sticker side of this, the glue side, is actually fairly sticky still, so I'll just stick it underneath this table here so it still sticks. Pretty strong actually, not too bad. So these things were, like I said, they were a novelty or whatever, an oddity, I guess if you even want to call it that. An interesting piece of history, but something that really loses its, I guess, fun factor fairly quickly because it's just printing out little teeny tiny stickers. There really is nothing special about it. So yeah, I mean, basically buy one of these if you want the nostalgia for it. These are still a dime a dozen because they were fairly popular back in the day. Look, I can take the cover off now properly because I've gained that knowledge. So these are model number MGB007. And yeah, I mean, if you come across one of these in good shape, you're really just, you haven't got anything special basically. It's a dime a dozen piece of retro gaming hardware that is cool looking on a shelf. So there's my serial number. It's even got the little Nintendo sticker on it and all the warnings crap. Really nothing going on here design wise. I mean, it's almost like when this thing came out in 1995, the original Game Boy design was being replaced by these Game Boys here. Let's get in focus. Got a manual focus, so it was being replaced by these Game Boys. This is the Play It Loud series Game Boy. So these came out in clear, yellow, red, green, and black. And I believe in Japan they came out in like blue and some type of white color, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, this is really what we got. I actually do have a clear plate loud series here as well. So I mean, these things are a little bit more desirable than a regular Game Boy, but let's not get off topic here. What I was getting at was this came out in 1995, and you would think it would mimic the Play It Loud series look, or the Game Boy Color or Game Boy Pocket look rather, but they chose to stick with the original Game Boy Color scheme, which is this. So yeah, I mean, this was still available in 1995, but you know, I would guess I would think that Nintendo was moving on to a newer color scheme, but I guess they just chose to stick with the original color. But anyways, let's show you guys the link now if you're interested in getting new printer paper for your Game Boy printer. Okay guys, so this is the printer paper that you want to look for. This is on Amazon.com, by the way. And this is the size, what you need here if you're going to buy new paper. $13.77. That's about what it used to cost back in the day. I think the Nintendo stuff was like probably 15 or 20 bucks or whatever. A lot of money. But anyways, so here's what you need. And yeah, so we can scroll down here. You got your Game Boy printers. These things are selling for like $17 on Amazon. So let's just look over here, which is, by the way, that's a ripoff in every sense of the word. Look at these. 4 new from $24.95. I don't believe those to be new, so let's just click on one of them just for the hell of it. Oh, we've got to click on a link, obviously. Let's see. 2079. You're an idiot if you buy that. Brand new, sealed, and original factory box. Okay, yeah. Jesus Christ. $156. $157 plus $10 shipping. So you're more than welcome to do whatever you want with your money, but there's a certain area. I'm getting a lot of moire here. Let's just adjust that focus so it's not messing with my eyeballs. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, $157 for a brand new Game Boy printer. That is that's a super ripoff. Super. I mean, you can't even. Here's used. These aren't really deals. This is just whatever. I mean, these. Everything nostalgic now is like, you know, retarded in value. So, not saying you're dumb if you pay that much money for it, but there's much better things that you can buy for your money than a Game Boy printer. Not trying to put it down, just trying to be honest. So, anyways, yeah, this is the paper that you want. You know, 14 bucks or whatever, plus whatever the shipping is. We'll look at some reviews if I still have them up. Could I still have the reviews up? So here, great for a Game Boy printer. So anyway, this person basically repeats exactly what I said. Anyone who needs this paper for a Game Boy printer, do not do not buy the old Game Boy brand printer, because obviously it is expired. The old stuff is expired and will not work properly or at all, and you will think it is your printer that's having the problem. Again with the moire. Go away. There we go. It is your printer that is having the problem. More than likely, it is not your printer, but the crappy old paper. So, and this person does it for a fact. They know it for a fact, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, yeah. If you're looking for replacement paper, do not buy the old stuff. Look at the reviews even. I mean, you know, it's good for, I guess, to keep on your shelf. Oh, look, I have brand new printer paper. Let's check out these reviews here. Old crappy paper, do not buy. Oh, this paper is expired and will more than likely not work at all. I've tried several of these from different batches, and it's just not working. Buy this instead, a paper roll thermal calculator, 1.5 5-pack, which is what we were just looking at Amazon.com, blah, blah, blah. It fits the Game Boy printer nicely and works. You can also get any kind of thermal paper and put it in the printer. Just make sure it's the right size for them, and thermal side out so that it works correctly. I tried a receipt from a library just to check to see if my printer was working okay before I bought the paper online. So yeah, this guy, let's see, blah blah blah, like it used to. So yeah, Pokemon games, also Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. I have other games too, but I really can't remember because I really don't care, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, just look at all the negative reviews. So pretty much do not buy the old expired Game Boy printer paper because it is 20 years old and thermal paper does expire. So, and you're not saving money. This is, you know, $10. The other one was what, $14, and you know, whatever. So anyways, that was my review for the Game Boy printer, and maybe even a little tech tip with Moray in the screen. See that? If you don't know photography terms, now you do. This is called Moray. This is basically the image sensor's inability to deal with repeating lines, and those repeating lines would be the pixels in my monitor. So to fix that, you go like this. Oh, look, you adjust your focus and it sort of goes away. Have a nice day, guys. Take care.